going on. But we're starting in the beginning of the year talking about our history. And what better way to talk about our history is by showing it photographs. Because photographs are long remembered after words are. If you've had the opportunity to walk through and see, I bet every one of you at some moment stopped at a photo and had not only an emotional connection, but had a memory trigger. You know, for me, it's the naked baby picture. Why? Because in my father's office, there's a little bitty photo that's on his desk of when he was a baby that his mom took. And I've been trying to get it out of his hand for so long, and I was like, Dad, I'll just take a picture and I'll just scan it. And I put it in the memory wall, and he's just like, don't touch mine. So every time I see it, I'm like, blow up of that over my mantle? Oh my God. Maybe I'm going to get there, you know? But the images that are in this exhibition are us, and they speak to us in so many different ways. So the significance of it is, one is dusting it off and showing it and bringing it to light. The other thing is, as a curator, I'm very curious on artistic expression and cultural experiences, and how do we blend that? And how do we have a catalyst to do that? And we do that through dialogues. So my hope is that this exhibition will be the catalyst for dialogues on at least 3 areas. One is to talk about African American photography, the evolution of African American photographer from the beginning to now. Photography, as we know it today, showed up in 1840. And in 1840, it was invented as we know it now. And I'm sorry, in 1839. In 1840, we were already using it. We were early adapters of this technology, as we are of a lot of technologies, you know. So I had started exploring on photography and how that fit into our culture and what we were doing with it. Led me to the amazing book by Deborah Willis. If you hadn't had the opportunity to read this, she has done a phenomenal job of giving the history of photography from the beginning of 1840 to the present. And if you've not had the opportunity to hear her speak, oh my gosh, please, whatever you do, counsel whatever you have to do to make it to a Deborah Willis lecture. So we want to look at the evolution of photography from the different angles of photography as an art. All of these are art objects. All of those are art objects. Photography as an historical document of our history, a historical document of how we feel about ourselves and how we want others to see us. Can you imagine in 1840 what others' photos of us looked like? They probably weren't very positive. As like the negative aspects of our character is what was shown the most. But when we started taking photos of ourselves, you see the elegance of them. You see the care. You see the beauty of them. You see what we wanted others to see of us. That's important because photography has changed a lot. The second thing we want to talk about is, while this exhibition is up, is we want to talk about preserving and archiving photographs. I don't know about you, but I have a box that my family, because I'm considered all old photos sent to me. That's what Tracy wants. Tracy wants all the old photos, make a copy or send them to me. So I have photos of my family members that I quite don't know what to do with, and I want to preserve them. This one's so fragile of my grandparents that I really shouldn't be handling it too much more. This one is of my mommy and daddy when they got married. So this is part of the memory wall that I put upstairs. But we want to talk about how do we archive, how do we preserve both our photographs and tell our story. And what's that process? The third thing that we want to do is we want to talk about telling a story in the digital age. Now see, we were the early adapters of photography when that new technology came out. And we're the early adapters of digital photography when it has come out. So how many people, by raising hands, take pictures with your phone? Okay, of those who take pictures with your phone, how many of you print out those pictures? Wow. How many of those print out those pictures of you two? And put them in some type of album so others can see?
I send them to people. That's what I do now.
So now, because of,
I don't take them, but I have mine in books I've written about my family.
so we are now utilizing the latest technology to take photos, and they are staying on our phones. I have, last time I looked, 932 photos on my phone. Of those 900 photos, I want to say probably 200 are relevant, because I take picture after picture, like, no, move to left, okay, yeah, yes. And with my camera, my phone, they're uploaded automatically, so when I want to reference them, I just have to take the time to go through those 900 photos to find the photo that I'm looking for. But I like to hear how we are going to tell our stories to our younger generations using the latest photography. So this exhibition is a catalyst for us to have those discussions. It's up from now until April 28th. In between that time, we invite you to engage us through social media, through one of our workshops and lectures. Come by the house when you see the exhibition and talk to us, email me. Let's get the dialogue started so we can at least talk about those three things. Now, going back to how the exhibition came here. So, Morris shows me these amazing photographs, and I'm snapping pictures left and right. And then he shows me that big plexiglass piece, and he says, and then we have this. And I'm like, oh my God, that is so beautiful. And me, it was instant art. It's like, wow. He says, you know, there's also a book. There's a book. I'll find the book for you that goes with this. And yeah, it was really cool. What do you think? Do you think you'd be interested in it? And I was like, texting Vernon. Okay, I had this great idea. This fantastic idea. Are you at the house? I'm coming back. I got to show you some photos. We got to talk about this. And we looked at it, and because what's going on at Hammonds House, what's going on with Auburn Research Library, and the conversations, collaboration, and the partnership, we thought what better way to launch that partnership is by showing these photographs. Now, the book, which we do have like 10 copies for ourselves, they're in our gift shop. The book was written by Carole Merritt, and I thought it was very essential that Carole would be a part of this process. So once I got the green light for us to move ahead to mount the exhibition, or remount the exhibition, it was the quest of trying to get Carole involved. So everybody we knew, we called. Everybody, we had board members emailing people. I'm following up to the point where they're a little annoyed. No, I haven't found Carole yet. I was like, okay, so I just call you in a couple of days and see where you are with that. And last week, I happened to call again, and she picked up the phone. And I said, Carole, hi, I'm Tracy Morrell at the Hammonds House, talking as fast as I can because I didn't know how much time I had, right? And I just want to let you know that your exhibition, Homecoming African Americans in Georgia, we're going to have at the Hammonds House, and I would love for you to be a part of it. And the opening is Sunday. Yeah, like this Sunday coming up. And I would love for you to be a part of it. And she's very, very, very soft-spoken. She says, well, I'm very pleased that you're showing the exhibition at the Hammonds House. But unfortunately, I won't be able to make your opening. And I was like, oh, okay. She said, it's my mother's 100th birthday. Oh. So we're throwing a little get-together at the house. You do understand. Oh yeah, I understand. Not a problem. Congratulations, by the way, that your mom at 100 is still with you. I think that's beautiful. So, Carole, can I come and interview you? I said, I won't take up much time. I said, I just want to talk because there's so much information that's in the book that tells you about the exhibition itself. But I'm interested in what preceded the book. How did it come about? She said, sure, that'd be fine. I said, so can I videotape the interview? She's like, no. Can I record it? She's like, yes. Okay, can I come tomorrow? And I called Myrna, are you free? Because Carole said we can come see her, and let's go. And so came, I brought my computer, and I recorded her story, and it was an hour and a half. And out of that, she's agreed to be a part of our workshop on archiving and preserving. And she has also agreed to, and you know, when you're having these type of conversations, ideas are flying left and right, and I said, ooh, you know what, would it be great? Why don't we just have a reunion of everybody that was involved in this project when we have that workshop? What do you think? Can we pull it off? I said, April-ish. I said, don't you think that's a great idea? And she's like, yeah, I think that's a fantastic idea. I was like, great, so you will work with me on this? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna write that down. Okay. So we're gonna actually, it evolved. It took on a life of its own because it was meant to be here. It was meant to be, it's time. 1982, 2013, it's time. She gave me great resources. Come to find out that the events that preceded this were two. One was, it was our country's bicentennial. So we were in the whole mindset of history. And also in 1976, Alex Haley's Roots came out. And the mini-series captivated everybody. And out of it came a love for genealogy and discovering our history and our roots. And the group that she worked with, African American History, African American Family History Association, was born from those two events. And for a year, they planned, they got a grant, a nice little $50,000 grant, to plan this exhibition. And from there, the next phase was to get a grant to exhibit the exhibition, to mount it, which was National Endowment of Humanities. And it was $120,000. And it was a three-part exhibition. And part of it was publications, part of it was, and that's just a partial mounting of the exhibition. There were artifacts that were a part of it. There were, part of it was at the AU Center, and recently, up until 2 years ago. All of this rich history that I am so pleased to bring to you. Now, when we were talking, when Carole was talking, and she was telling me about her process, there was a transformation that was going on. Because she was, you could see it on her face, because she's a very soft-spoken woman. Then she started talking about the project, and her face lit up, like my face lights up. And she's like, that's the happiest job I've ever had. She said, I got, as a graduate student, once we got funding, I got to go travel to Savannah and Athens and Macon and talk to people and pull out of them their stories. And sometimes I had to go back 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 times. She said, one lady, it was the 7th time, and she was like, I'm getting something. And sure enough, after the 7th time, she says, well, I do have a couple things in the attic. And she brought out dolls that she kept. And all kind of photographs and stuff like that. So I'm so pleased that she's going to be with us this month, and she's going to be able to tell you the full story. And not only tell you the full story, but also tell you the process that they went through in 1982 to bring this about. And what she's doing now, because she also is a historian for her family. So she's going to be part of the panel that's going to talk to us about how do we archive our photos. I mean, 20 years from now, there may not be any hard copy photos, because our kids and our younger generation we're using our cameras. And the type of images that are put out there, there's a different thought that's put in. I mean, even the photos, when I look at my photos on Facebook, I mean, it's me and the girls hanging out. We usually have a drink in hand, you know? We're having a great time. We're celebrating. And we're celebrating, and then there are photos that we have of moments, but we are now, in this time, we are documenting not just the momentous occasions, birth, childhood, death, tragedies, birthdays, anniversaries. We take photos nowadays of everything. We take photos and we post them for the world to see. That exhibition, a lot of those photos weren't meant for public consumption. Those photos were private moments of a family who wanted to take that moment and preserve it. The graduations, the 2-year-old standing. I mean, they're just simply beautiful. Now, we had the I won't say it was, we had extensive dialogue about we're a museum. And we're not an historical, our mission is not on showing just documents. Our mission is showing artistic expression and cultural expression. How do we merge the two? So that's why we brought part of the images, part of these photographs are from our permanent collection of living artists and how they are telling the story of their community today. In the back is Jim Alexander, that powerful photograph of them. Right behind you is Lynn Linnemeyer. We have 2 Linnemeyers. This is from our permanent collection. She incorporates historical photographs into her work. We have we have Eric Waters. This one is one of my favorites because I grew up on the Gulf Coast. So Mardi Gras is part of my life. It's a national holiday in my family. But we had the Mobile Mardi Gras. So the Mobile Mardi Gras is way tamer than the New Orleans Mardi Gras. I had to wait until I was in college to go to the New Orleans Mardi Gras. But when I see that, instantly I'm taken back to my first New Orleans Mardi Gras and seeing the chiefs and seeing the marching. And I mean, it's like it's a trip down memory lane. The colors, the vividness of it, just beautiful. Honored to have Sheila Pre-Bright. This is not part of our permanent collection, but if anybody wanted to purchase it, donate it. Would not turn me down. Her Young American series is absolutely breathtaking. Living Walls is taking images and put them on murals in Miami. I mean, huge murals from this series. Now the current series that she's working on is the unsung heroes in the civil rights era. And she's coming to Hammonds House, and she's used Hammonds House as a backdrop as she photographs, and she takes the oral histories of our heroes. Rob Simmons is a photographer that closed out our 2012 series. Rob is a relatively young photographer in terms of some of the other photographers. He has been taking photos for, well, this week, 5 years. And this is the photo that was in our art auction and won the Merit Award. And as the winner of the Merit Award, we gave him his solo show here last year. His work is absolutely breathtaking. Some of his work he goes into abandoned homes, and he uses natural light. And when you look at these photos, you feel the light of that home. I mean, they're just breathtaking. Then this photo right here, this is another statement. Another Lynn Linnemeyer, that's part of our permanent collection. So as we talk about the historic, throughout the month, well, throughout the next 2.5 months, as we talk about the evolution of photography, as we talk about how we as photographers are going to archive our own history, as we talk about how we are using new technology to tell our story, I invite you all to join and participate and add your voice, because that's what we're here for. We are here, we are your community, and we want to invite you here to have dialogue and discuss it, and we want to hear what you have to say.